Good morning, everyone. I am Elmar Tumanda, and before we start, I would like to ask some questions with you guys. Please feel free to write down in our comment section. I assure you this is a safe environment to share your opinions and experiences. Because I guess we're all future educators here, and so we can relate to each other, right? Again, please feel free to write down in our comment section. Okay, number 1. Have you experienced demo teaching before? Number 2. How was it? Does it end badly? Or do you ace your performance? And lastly, what do you think are your advantages and disadvantages during your demo teaching? Is it your language skills, your students' capabilities or visual aids, lesson plan, so on, so forth? All right. Thank you for your responses. Whether you have or you don't have experience in demo teaching, nothing is going to stop us today from tackling the common tips of demo teaching. Again, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a heads up. Where did I get this information? Well, aside from my experience, I also tend to focus on the thing where you have to be evaluated, which is the criteria. Criteria means provide a normative framework used to determine the merit or worth of an activity. Example, the activity that we're going to talk about is the demo teaching. Okay, criteria serve as the basis upon which evaluative judgments are made. Iyon. So, yan ang gagamitin ng mga o-observe sa atin during our demo teaching. Okay, without further ado, let's start with lesson planning. Again, lesson planning will keep you on track. This is where you brainstorm your ideas and potential or effective tools that you have to use in demo teaching. Okay, so tip number 1. Lesson objectives are stated clearly in behavioral terms. So, of course, you should set objectives or goals first. Now, this kind of tip describes what you want to your audience to learn. No, not audience. Your students. No? And how will they demonstrate what they have learned? Again, yung audience natin na we tackle about is the students. So, yes, the behavioral learning objective should define the behavior you wish the students to demonstrate at the conclusion of the teaching session. So, example here. Dapat, nakita nyo sa picture, diba, like something defined diphthong. So, dapat pagkatapos ng leksyon, may idea na sila kung ano ang diphthong, so on, so forth. Okay, tip number 2. Appropriate and adequate review and motivational activities are provided. Okay, medyo nabulol ako dun. Okay, in this tip, this helps remind students of what they learned and develops a concrete base for their learning. And also, sa motivation naman, this is to channel inner strength and discover capabilities to improve academic performance. So, ayun, mapapagana natin sila sa panibagong leksyon through motivation. So, example sa motivation is yung singing, dancing, playing, trivia, at iba pa. So, next, tip number 3. Learning activities are variously and creatively provided in consideration of individual differences of the learners. Ang haba nun ha. Pero, in the end, dito papasok si differentiation. So, I believe you have attended, most of you attended the seminar last April 27, I believe. Yes. I think you have encountered this before. And again, differentiated instruction allows us to give students the support they need instead of lumping them together in one big group, like giving them the same activities or assessment, even though they have differences, like readiness, interests, and so on, so forth. So examples of differentiation is when the teacher gives tier activity. Ano ba tong tier activity? So in this kind of activity, may iba't ibang level na question. Merong easy round and difficult round. So, ayun. So sa mga mahihina na estudyante, doon natin ibibigay yung easy round. So, at least naman makakapag participate sila sa klase mo. And then naman sa difficult level, para yun sa mga advanced students. So that kind of learning act. Tip number 4. Questions and follow-up techniques are carefully crafted so as to challenge the learners to think and participate at maximum. So ayan, if you are that kind of teacher who asks questions that can be only answered with yes or no, then you limit your students' learning capability. Example, asking the students, "What is the color of the sky?" And they will respond, "Ma'am, color blue, ma'am." Tapos sasabihin ng teacher, "Correct. Now let's move on to blah 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 blah." See, ang pangit pakinggan. You are leaving them hanging. Like, ayun, yun lang. So, that is why follow-up questions are important. Like, why do you think the sky is blue? Diba mapapaisip talaga sila. Ano ba? Wala naman sila talagang alam. Yung iba, bakit blue ang sky? Kung ano-ano lang din ang maisip ng mga bata. Marami silang idea through their imagination. So, yes, again, students will lack in critical thinking if you don't challenge them to think. That is why follow-up questions are important. At para na din sa mga para mas thrilling yung demo teaching mo. Okay, last in lesson planning is the appropriate assignment or homework to reinforce learning is provided. So, hinahanap talaga yan after demo teaching, sa lesson plan. Kung meron kang assignment na binigay sa mga estudyante mo. So yes, again, this is a self-explanatory. You can give a student an assignment that doesn't meet his capabilities. Example, kung nagtuturo ka sa grade 1, it should be easy and what? Ano bang nababagay sa mga grade 1? It should be easy and fun. Yes, dapat fun, hindi yung boring. Again, knowing your students is the number one thing that you should consider first in giving assignment or homework. So, that is for lesson planning. Ayan, tapos tayo sa lesson planning. Let's move on to lesson delivery. So, this is where you perform your demo teaching. Nandyan ka na sa front ng mga estudyante mo. Ready ka na yung mga PowerPoint mo, naka-display na sa TV, meron ng observers. This is where you start or perform the demo. Okay, tip number 1. Instructional aids and materials are prepared and used appropriately. Again, dapat prepared or arrange ang materials mo because these so-called instructional aids are just like teleprompters. If you lose track, the materials will give you the hint what to do next. Unlike sa yung hindi arrange or nagkakalat-kalat yung mga visual aids mo, hindi mo alam kung ano ang susunod, ano bang uunahin mo dito, or hindi kaya you will waste time looking for your visual aids kasi patong-patong yan. Most commonly, iisa lang yung table sa front. Malalaki yung mga visual aids mo or di kaya marami. So, you will waste time looking for what you're looking for na visual aids. Dapat may checklist ka na dalang-dala mo yung mga instructional aids mo kasi minsan ang ganda na ng reporting mo or demo pagti-teach mo, tapos when the time comes that you have to give instructional aids, paghanap mo sa table, hala, saan yung Ala, naiwan ko sa bahay. Oh, edi sira yung demo teaching mo. So, yun, you have to be prepared. Okay, number 2. The classroom is arranged and organized to provide conductive learning. So again, the organization of classroom, no? This allows students to retrieve them quickly. Like, papaupuin mo sila or mag-grouping sila, no? Dapat arrange 'yon. This will help to decrease unwanted behavior. Example in this picture. Ayan, I made sure that during group activity, there will be enough space for them to gather and perform their activity. So, kung saan ko sila inassign, when during groupings, doon lang sila. I created a space there so that they can perform their activity well. Okay, number 3. Mastery of subject matter is strongly evident. Okay. So, it will be embarrassing, no, if you can't solve your own problems sa leksyon mo. Example, sa math, 'di ba? Example lang, meron talagang teacher na hindi alam yung tinuturo niya. Kaya pag may another problem na wala sa lesson plan niya, no? Like example, malakas ang loob niyang mag-create ng problem, tapos when it comes to solving it, hindi niya alam. So, nga yung estudyante mo, nga ka rin. Oh, that is a big minus on your, mamaminus ka talaga sa, sa observer mo. And yes, another example, sa EPP man tayo, no? Your topic is parts of the computer. Now, how can you teach the students, about the parts if even yourself don't know what it is? No? Diba? So, you have to practice for mastery. Dapat alam mo yung tinuturo mo. Okay, moving on to number 4. Time is budgeted properly. So, ito lang. Don't lose track. Okay? Dapat may orasan ka din, no? Sa wrist mo. And also, don't focus or talk too much on a particular topic. Like, chika-chika, imbes topic nyo ay arts, andun na kayo napunta sa anime and so on and so forth. No, you have to control and have presence of mind because, like, focus ka lang sa lesson plan mo, no? Because you only have limited time and you still have a lot of things to do in your demo teaching. I guess, you only have maximum of 1 hour. Oo. Sa mga interns, notice ko sa mga intern noon sa high school pa ako. Okay, wag din yung under time, no? Kasi that means you didn't tackle that much. So, meron kayong budgeted hour niyan and you have to make use out of it. Okay, number 5. Mastery of the language instruction is consistently demonstrated. So, example sa GED111 namin, we are instructed to speak English only because the topic is reading English. And here comes my students who are nga of whatever I'm saying. Because aside from they can't really understand English that much, some of my grammars are also wrong. Like, yung hindi ka confident mag-speak ng English, magbabaliktad-baliktad talaga yung grammar mo. So, yes, you have to be careful on on the way you speak, like the grammars, avoid jargons or words that your students are not familiar with, yung mga medyo mahihirap na words, deep meaning, because that might lead to failure. Yes, trust me, I learned that the hard way. Nagkabalintong-balintong yung grammar ko, tapos naggamit ako ng mga words na hindi naiintindihan ng mga bata. So, ayun. So, that is lesson delivery. Those are the tips when you perform your demo teaching. Let's move on to, okay, last but not the least, the personal qualities. So, this is not the lesson plan. This is not all about your lesson. This is not about your performance. This is all about you. You as a teacher. Okay, tip number 1. When you do the demo teaching, your general appearance should be like becoming of a teacher. Now, because we're still students and we don't have uniforms. But I guess merong uniform yan pag mag-intern kayo. But as of now, we don't have, no? We are just virtually demo teach. Yes, demo teaching. So, yes, we have to be, you have to be responsible of what you wear. Okay, ladies, if necessary, you should wear light makeup. No, pero kung maganda ka na talaga, like hindi haggard yung mukha mo, and I guess it's not necessary for you to wear light makeup. And also, don't wear too much makeup na parang mapapageant ka na. Now, that will be so awkward for the observant and also for your students. Or I mean, mga estudyante, for sure, sasabihin na, ang ganda-ganda ni ma'am, blah, 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 blah. Pero for those veteran na sa pagtuturo, like, I don't think wearing too much makeup will do. Yes. You have to be somehow, professional. No? That is for the ladies. To the men naman, gentlemen, well, I think you should do the same thing aside from wearing makeup. Pero pwede naman din kayong mag-makeup, no? Siguro yung pulbo-pulbo lang, tapos maliit na lip tint, so that hindi ka namumutla in front of your students. And also your hairs, no? Wag yung spaghetti or something, anong mga style niyan, wag yung patayo na buhok, mga sir. And yung mga ma'am naman, it could be buhay lang, pero presentable, straight. Pero kung yung buhok nyo, I mean, you know what I mean, no? Ang haba ng pag-uusap natin sa general appearance. Let's move on to tip number 2. Loud and clear voice. Again, this is to make you audible, of course, especially from the kids and observers at the back. Also, to avoid misunderstanding. Like, magti-teach ka ng, good morning class, na hindi ka maririnig sa likod. Tapos ang mga estudyante, ma'am, hindi po naman maririnig, ma'am. Ma'am, ano po yun, ma'am? Ma'am, you have to be loud and also have a clear voice. Dapat maayos ang pagkakabigkas and also loud enough to be heard at the back. Okay? Moving on to tip number 3. Annoying mannerism are consciously minimized. Okay. Annoying mannerism. Okay. Example yan is a speech, no? Hindi talaga maiiwasan na magsabi ng kaning kuan good. No. You have to minimize those things, like kaning kuan class, this is what you this is where you how to do, this is where you put it here, no, it will waste time and also create misunderstanding or mako-confuse yung mga bata, puros ka lang okay, you have to avoid those things. And also sa behavior, when you snap, continuously snapping your finger, yung naglo-loading ka, magsasnap ka ng finger, or magtatap ka ng finger, tapping feet, no, pulling strand towards at the back of your hair, parang nagpapacute or nagpapabebe, many annoying mannerism that you have to avoid as soon as possible when you start demo teaching, because this is somehow annoying kind of gestures, because it just show that you are not, how can I say this, you are not prepared and confident enough to perform your demo teaching. So ayun, minimize those things. Continuing on, number 4, confidence in own ability is shown. So during demo teaching, you should let yourself know that you own the floor. The classroom is your stage, and you have to impress your observers that you are one of the teachers who are capable to teach. No? Don't say, ay, kinakabahan ako, ma'am. Nanginginig ako. No. Again, remind yourself of what you want in the near future. No? Example, kadalasan kong ginagawa is, I'm a teacher. I'm a future teacher. I would like to be my mom. Ganon. Sinasabi ko lang yan through my mind. No? Hindi ko talaga binibigkas kasi halata na yon, no? Magiging guro ako, magiging sensei ako sa Japan. So on, so forth. 'Di ba? Marami pang dahilan. Kung ano mang dahilan mo, i-remind mo sa sarili mo when you start demo teaching or when you loading na, no? Out of your control. Remind yourself and be confident. Okay? Okay. Number 5. Resourcefulness and creativity are exhibited. Okay. Resourcefulness daw. It means achieving goals by finding and using the things you have at hand. Kung anong meron ka ngayon, kung kulang man yan, tapos, example, no, wala kang TV. Walang TV sa bahay nyo or walang TV sa classroom na kung saan ka magde-demo teaching. So, you have to, what? Magla-laptop ka na lang? Hindi ka magagawa ng ano? No, you have to be resourceful. Kung konti lang pera mo, but you think makakabili ka pa ng mga Manila paper, mga, anong tawag tong may color paper, cartolina, 'di ba? Make use of it and be creative, no? Example dito sa picture, wala silang mga computer and other devices. So, ayan. He draw the, what was this? Okay, Microsoft Words. So this means that their teacher don't want his students to be left behind. That is why he used his very own skills, no? Being resourceful, which is drawing, to provide a visual aids on how Microsoft Word looks like. Ganun. That is one of the things one of the examples of resourcefulness. Okay, last tip, but not the least. Number 6, ICT literacy. Okay. According to some study, it revealed that computer literate teachers perform better in the schools than non-computer literate teachers by making use of computers during their teaching. Of course, we are in the 21st century, and ano pa bang ma-expect natin? We are surrounded by technology. So, they also include that the use of computers arouse students' interest in the teaching manner, or in terms of teaching, which supports effective student academic performance. So, aside from being resourceful, you should also have these skills, as we have, again, surrounded by technology. And moreover, this will make teaching and learning less effort, but much effective. Ayun. Less effort pero much effective kasi marami na tayong magagawa through our computers and also with the help of internet. So, just to remind you, those that know do, those that understand teach, by Aristotle. Okay. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, we can know something without understanding it. Example, alam natin na yung kay Albert Einstein na E is equals mc2. 'Di ba? Pero hindi natin naiintindihan kung bakit ganun. Bakit E is equals mc2? Ano bang ibig sabihin niyan? Diba? That is an example that we can know something without understanding it. But if you understand a particular thing, we can, what? When we understand a thing, we can elaborate it in our own and able to deliver the right lessons of our students. Ayun. So, the tips that I have mentioned came from a criteria of, I forgot the school, pero yon ang criteria nila in demo teaching. Lang perfect na demo teaching. I mean, I think wala talagang perfect demo teaching kasi yung iba, it seems perfect, but in their personal view, ay meron akong nalimutan, ay mas gaganda pa sana tong demo teaching ko kung ginawa ko to or hindi ko ginawa tong ganito, 'di ba? So yes, just be yourself, try to follow these tips, look on the internet kung ano pang pwede mong gawin na or mga stunts sa pagde-demo teaching, because ikaw lang nakakaalam kung ano ang mas nakakabuti sa'yo, ano ang mas suitable by following the guidelines and the tips, no, during demo teaching. Okay, I guess that ends my discussion. Thank you for keeping up with me. I am Melmore Tumanda. Goodbye, everyone.